Brodes Media.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome on into Sports Talk with Brodes. Chuck Fletcher has been fired, and it's a magnificent day. It's a beautiful day. It's a fantastic day. It's a glorious day. It's an incredible day because I don't have to see that man's face again in my entire life, and there's nothing more I wanted in life than that. Look, I need to thank a lot of you out there. You heard me correctly. Your voice was heard. I promise you that. I guarantee you that. I spoke to people who are very involved in what's happening right now within those walls at the Wells Fargo Center. The Flyers heard you. Comcast heard you. Everyone heard you. So if you put a brown paper bag on your face, thank you. If you tweeted your disgust on social media, thank you. If you called in to Sports Talk Radio, thank you. We had Anthony Sanfilippo on the show today, and he said that the last few days has been humbling, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but the Flyers organization, they have been pretty damn aware of what's been said about them, and it's been a wild last 72 hours of realizing that this is no good, that this needs to be changed. Now, you can ask the question, why? Why would it take the frustration? Why couldn't you just see it with your own two eyeballs? Why didn't you just look at the track record of Chuck Fletcher before bringing him in when you saw what he did in Minnesota? Why hold that attachment to what his dad did and think automatically that Chuck Fletcher would be one of the greatest GMs in history of the sport? Like, you should just realize that the contracts were piss poor, that the talent was bad, everything that was going wrong, the cap space, spending a lot of money on certain players and giving them some lengthy deals. It was disturbing. That should have been what told you that Chuck Fletcher needed to be fired, not the fans stopping the payments for the season tickets. But once again, I thank you because you did make a change. I do believe that their heart and their head is in the right space moving forward. Multi-years was thrown around a lot, meaning this is going to be a little bit. But we knew that. It's unfortunate that we're here, but I'm going to look at it this way. I can't take back any contracts. I can't take back any time in my life watching this. But you can move forward, and you can at least see a plan that can make sense to getting this back on the right track. And that's all we can ask for right now. You get two options. You figure it out, or you continue this mess. And the fact that it seems like they're bought into figuring this thing out is important. Bobby Clark, Homer, Bill Barber. I believe there's going to be change in that area. Now, I saw social media having a bit of outcry when the 32 Thoughts podcast with Elliot Friedman dropped and the names Eric Lindros was dropped. Chris Pronger was dropped. Because the interim GM is Danny Briere, if I failed to mention that already. So because it's former Flyer Danny Briere who's going to be getting the job. That's another thing Anthony Sanfilippo said on the show was, book it. Danny Briere will become the general manager after the interim tag is off. All right. A few days ago, I wanted to clean house and I wanted everybody gone. There's a part of me that's intrigued because I think he's been working towards this. I think he's been studying. I think he's passionate. I think he cares. And I think he really believes in himself as a GM. And he's been putting in the work to accomplish himself the best he possibly can in this position. Closer to the most recent style of play, not players who are 80 years old. Legitimate, understands the game of hockey. I do believe Danny Briere does. So fine. It bothers me a little bit that they're almost going back to the same well. Chris Pronger back in 2017 or so had a little bit involved in some front office stuff. But you know what I would do? I would call Boston, and I'd go look at their assistant GM, and I'd go pluck from an organization like that. That's what I would do. And say, take what Boston does, and let's apply it here. Pasta. Bergeron, Brad Marchand, Charlie McAvoy. You see these stud players? And you see what they're able to do financially and how they're able to utilize money properly? Let's take that and let's do it here.